Hey, so sorry, I guess I need a moment to kind of like get my composure after the Nick Fuentes interview. Did you hear any of that? What did you make of it?
I did. I was listening to it. I mean, do you think I could get a meeting with Donald Trump?
I think you might be more likely than Fuentes. You just have to wink.
Really?
I don't know. I mean, there might be some based guy floating in the orbit around Mar-a-Lago who would be receptive. I don't know. I'm just spitballing, but maybe not. Probably not.
I think you're underestimating me. I think they're, much like they're trying to make Kamala into this like ditzy, low IQ wine mom. I think she's maybe more powerful than you're giving her credit for.
Maybe so. I mean, I don't know whether to overestimate you or underestimate you. And I don't know whether I should be overestimated or underestimated either. So we're all kind of floating in this ether of uncertainty together.
I think it's a good zone to be in.
Yeah. What was that Holocaust movie, The Zone of something, that recently? That was actually really good. Did you see that?
The Zone of Interest. I didn't see it because I kind of got the gist, the banality of evil,
Yeah, I mean, banality of evil could be very cliched and like they're just trying to force feed Hannah Arendt down our throats or something, but it actually was surprisingly, I don't know what the word is. I'm not a good movie critic, but I enjoyed it. I thought it wasn't too overt, it was subtle. It wasn't just like, oh, let's recite the banality of evil as though it's like a New York Times op-ed or something. I got something out of it, but let's not get derailed here. Even though this whole conversation is kind of meant to be a derailment.
Right. Yeah. I'm here to lighten things up after all the negative, like the Trumpian negativity.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I apologize to our viewers at home.
Okay.
I wish I could vape and drink with you right now. I guess I could, but I just felt like it would be uncouth on camera. But maybe I'll fix that for next episode.
Sorry, I'll stop.
No, continue, please. It's great for the mood. Yeah, it's Friday.
We're winding down.
So the producer just said in my ear that he endorses you vaping and drinking because it's Friday. But you can do it any day of the week too. I mean, do it on Monday. What the hell? So, Dasha, I want to play for you. So, apparently, we're all now being inundated with this idea that Kamala Harris is this pop culture juggernaut. She is appealing to all the kiddos with memes and fun music, and everybody forgets and are memory holing at rapid speed that Joe Biden had been adamantly insistent that he was never under any circumstances going to withdraw from the race because it would be an affront to democracy. And we did a whole segment on that last night. Joe Biden said, how can we as Democrats declare our fidelity to preserving the democratic order if we don't even uphold it within our own party? Meaning if Joe Biden capitulates to donor demands to withdraw, and then he withdraws and then everybody forgets about it because they're all focused on Kamala's memes and Mamala. And so I want to show you, I guess, the origin of a lot of this meme stuff that's been floating around, which is Charlie XCX, who I have to say I enjoy musically. How much I enjoy her politically, I think, is yet to be seen. But let's have you get your reaction to this clip.
Go. Charlie XCX, who I do know, quote, Brat, you're just that girl who is a little messy and likes to party and maybe says some dumb things sometimes, end quote.
So it's the idea that we're all kind of brat and Vice President Harris is brat? I don't
know if you're brat. I think you aspire to be brat.
Right.
Okay? You don't just become brat.
Oh, okay.
You have to try.
You can work at it.
I will aspire to be brat. I will aspire. But I mean.
So, Dasha, tell me what I should think about that, please.
I think, sorry, Trump's texting me. I think, Charlie's an incredible artist. The meme cycle she's been able to generate with Brat has been, very powerful. Obviously, I don't think she's like a political operative, really. She's like from the UK. A big part of the Brat discourse and what I feel like they're trying to generate with Kamala. I always like I can't even say
Kamala,
her name,
I guess, is the way the Republicans pronounce it to be rude. That's my understanding. So just go with Kamala.
Okay.
Go with the rude Republican pronunciation.
Well, I saw she also was like palling around with like RuPaul and like Drag Race people, and they're trying to make her, the Obamas endorsed her and set for her good sense of humor and her like lightheartedness. Like they're really trying to spin her as like a ditzy, like low IQ wine mom, like a Betty Boop almost or something. But I don't feel like it has real traction with Zoom. I mean, like Charlie's my age, like I'm like a peak millennial. And like big LGBT is also kind of catering, I feel like, to millennials, who is also always really rallying around Kamala. I mean, obviously her husband is a entertainment lawyer. I think we can expect to see more of like, the liberal establishment in Hollywood basically like falling in line, though obviously that's not really that surprising.
Yeah, so I listened for the first time today to the BRAT album, which was only released last month, and I do have to say it is a banger. It is a really good album. I was dancing around here in Rio like an idiot, and everybody was looking at me like I'm a peculiar person, which is how they look at me anyway, regardless of what music I may or may not be listening to. So I want to let's play a clip from the Charlie XCX video 360. So I guess that captures the essence of Kamala Harris.
I mean, I would take Charlie at face value when she identifies a brat archetypally as a kind of girl who sort of says whatever. I don't think she's necessarily in anyone's pocket any more than anyone else who's like beholden to the demands of the entertainment industry and like a massive gay fan base. I think, she's an artist. She's free to like, she felt something in the moment and said something.
I'm not, just to be clear, Dasha, I am not criticizing Charlie XCX. I genuinely enjoyed her album and I like the videos and stuff. I'm pointing to the Democratic mainstream instant like appropriation of her to give Kamala this appearance of like of pop culture or memeified relevance. That's more what I'm wary of.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It's really disturbing. But I think amongst like the actual like youth demographic that this is, that clip you showed from CNN or whatever was farcical. It's like, I think actual young people can feel when a meme cycle is like inauthentic and they react accordingly. But it remains to be seen, I guess, how much real political, my instinct, I know I'm here to, because of my amazing political instincts, I think it's going to be a flop. I don't think people are really going to buy it. And they definitely won't be able to sustain, like, through the election, this kind of, eventually she's going to have to like debate Donald Trump. And I think the fact that Biden was like dying and wouldn't step down means there's something probably really, really wrong with Kamala that like we might not even realize.
Yeah, I think the key to what's wrong with Kamala lies with Doug Emhoff. I think Doug is really the answer in terms of the malice that undergirds the Kamala phenomenon. And now I'm just making stuff up myself. I'm in my Friday mood. So, I mean, what was your, did you watch any of the Republican convention? Did you watch Trump almost get assassinated? I mean, how do you, I mean, the cliche that a lot of people have been reciting recently, but it does feel kind of true for once, is that, you know, there's that old adage that there are some years where nothing happens and then some weeks where years happen. That really does feel kind of true recently. So how are you processing it? And yes, I do rely on you for political insight, so don't sell yourself short. But I want to know like what you make of like just recent events in general.
Yeah, it's a super spicy election cycle. And, you know, for cultural political commentators such as ourselves, it's very exciting. I think it's in general, it's all really, I mean, you were asking Fuentes why he loved Trump. And I actually found what he said to be really like, when he said that it's just like a political reality that he's popular, so he like has to co-sign him. I mean, I don't feel like that. But I genuinely do love Donald Trump for like the way he makes me feel. I did watch some of the RNC. I found it pretty electrifying, you know. I think in terms of like, yeah, just like images that I like to see, and like I love Donald Trump.
I love him because he's funny. I mean, I love him in that sense. I mean, nobody can deny really that Trump is hilarious. I think anybody who does deny that has to deny to themselves a certain reality, because maybe they have other political criticisms of Trump, and so they conflate various things and don't allow themselves to acknowledge what clearly is the truth, which is that he's probably the funniest political figure ever to have been on the American political scene. I always find myself laughing at just his little colloquialisms or turns of phrase or just the way that he, you know, handles himself. So yeah, I mean, I enjoy Trump and am entertained by him on that level. I guess the difference for me is that like there are levels beyond American politics other than pure entertainment. But on that level, Trump is the undisputed champion.
Yeah, and I think like if there were actual like authentic sort of, sorry, there's a lot of crime. If there was like, he does have a lot of like organic, actual like memeable, obviously, power. He's like truly Warholian and like actually much more of like a gay icon than they're trying to make Kamala into.
Yeah, Warholian. You should have been advising the art director of the Republican National Convention and maybe told them to go with that Warholian aesthetic a little bit more full-throatedly. Although, I mean, the aesthetic was, I mean, it was interesting. The Amber Rose, I interviewed one of the Trump rappers who did the play on Ice Ice Baby, Trump Baby. And I got him to give me his definition of conservatism, so that was fun. And yeah, I mean, it's just more, there's something lighter about it and just more, I don't know exactly what the right word is, but the Democrats are always, and I guess they're trying to break free of this now, but they had been so serious and they're so like always in this dire, dour frenzy about the existential threat of Trump that it makes them seem just annoying and unrelatable. And I guess that's in part what they're trying to break free from with this kind of artificial introduction of meme culture to bolster Kamala. But yeah, it's sort of an interesting cultural dynamic that I'm not sure I have a fully developed thesis for yet, which is part of why I invited you on.
Well, isn't that what they did with Yang and like, wasn't like when Bloomberg was like a Republican candidate, there was like, they were actually like making like trying to meme him into some kind of viability and they were all like falling flat. But Kamala already is in like a position of power. I mean, she is basically the Democratic nominee, right?
We're told. I mean, she's had to go and win 0 votes from actual voters. She hasn't even had to go petition delegates in the standard way that nominees have done it for decades. And the media is not even covering this. I mean, it drives me crazy. It makes me flail my arms around like a madman. And people on the internet, the commenters, criticize me for it. But what can I say? People, I get enthused about this because it genuinely is insane that Kamala Harris has just been privately coronated a major party nominee without doing a single scintilla of public campaigning. And yet we're all supposed to believe that the Democrats are these heroic defenders of democracy, and the media is not even covering it. What they are covering is, Kamala has this meme magic. So that's what we're all supposed to be fixated on, and I guess I'm guilty of it too, because I just did a mini album review of BRAT by Charlie XCX, but it was a good album. What can I tell you?
And I guess, I guess that's why that's so brat of her to just take the stage like that. After don't you think Biden's dead? I know he made those weird, creepy appearances, but I'm not convinced.
Well, he gave an Oval Office address this week.
Yeah, but
purportedly explaining
with all the AI going
it could be
on.
AI. But my point on that was that it was supposed to be an explanation of why it is that he just suddenly withdrew from the race after aggressively insisting that he would never do so, and he actually didn't give an explanation. Actually, on that note, let's go to the Obama endorsement video. This is interesting. Obama and Barack and Michelle endorsed Kamala today, so let's watch that.
Kamala.
Hello. Hi.
Hey there.
Oh, hi. You're both together. Oh, it's good to hear you both.
I can't have this phone call without saying to my girl Kamala, I am proud of you. This is going to be historic.
We called to say Michelle and I couldn't be prouder to endorse you and to do everything we can to get you through this election and into the Oval Office.
Oh, my goodness. Michelle, Barack, this means so much to me. I am looking forward to doing this with the two of you, Doug and I both, and getting out there, being on the road. But most of all, I just want to tell you the words you have spoken and the friendship that you have given over all these years mean more than I can express. So thank you both. It means so much. And we're going to have some fun with this too, aren't we?
So they're going to have some fun with it. Look at that. You know you're having fun when you have to go out of your way to state that you're having fun. So yeah, I know my heart was
crazy.
Go ahead.
Sorry, the crazy thing about that video is how produced it is. They're clearly not speaking to each other. It seems completely ADR'd. They couldn't even be bothered to stage a conversation. It seems just completely produced. Yeah. And then Michelle Obama tweeted that she is excited to endorse her because of her positivity, sense of humor, and ability to bring light and hope to people all across the country. But she's running for president. We don't need to endorse her for her positivity and sense of humor. That's crazy.
Nobody who's endorsed Kamala so far seems to mention a single thing that she would actually do in terms of governance, like running the country. It's all about these ethereal vibes, I guess, that they're so relieved that she will treat us to.
And maybe they're trying to take a page out of the Trump playbook because he's operating so much on a vibey wavelength that people are responding to. But yeah, it's just all hitting very much the wrong note, I feel.
Well, I'm also hitting lots of wrong notes, so maybe that will compel me to support Kamala Harris. Well, Dasha, we appreciate you joining us and guiding us through these tumultuous political times. There's no better guide as far as I'm concerned. So thanks a lot for coming.
Thank you, Michael. Thanks for all your hard work.
Likewise.